Hi guys, here is my X spread, and for those of you who know the significators, please look at the timestamp and you can just really go right into the reading. For those who are the first ones here or who still want to understand how am I making this actually work, just listen the explanation, and here it is. I have created a spread. It is known Cat Tarot Knows X spread, but it's also applicable for on and off relationships, and even to kind of like figure out the feelings and intricacies of your relationship. Why? Because I have actually used 7 categories, and 7, right? It's a kind of like really magic spiritual number, and also the entire spread numerologically adds up to 3. 3 is like that card of union of Trinity, so it is something that can kind of like raise from the ashes, right? So I'm just trying to figure out what can work, what cannot work. As I say in my private readings, you have to understand that not all relationships are meant to be. Like when you get together with someone, everything is really nice in the beginning. We want to charm, we want to be our best, but sort of like that enthusiasm maybe kind of like falls off with time. People get sidetracked, people meet other people. So one category here that I'm exploring, the very first one, is the Magician. So in tarot, Magician is a number 1. So of course it means, is this a go? Can this relationship ever be a starter? So what is Magician doing? Magician is somebody who comes to work and he goes, okay, let me crack my fingers and I'm going to start working. What do I need to do today? Wow. And there is a task, it's a little project list, and then he starts to manifest. So it's a start before the start. So what does he want to manifest? Look at the difference. He kind of like wants to use all the available tools, right? You see all of these tools here are now floating. They're activated. So I really want to see what is in this category. This category is going to tell me if you guys had all the ingredients to make a relationship. What in this category you have? Love, devotion, family, kind of like sharing. Then I say, yeah, like really good ground. Like there is like a great foundation for this. But what if you have, let's say, love and then lack of reputation or lack of family or jealousy? Then obviously, that's going to have issues. Sometimes it's just like downward negative. So the things that are supposed to help you are just basically things that are tearing you apart. And sometimes you have all but one element, and that one element seems to be important. It is like having 4 tires for a car and have an engine and have windshield and have all the other windows. Name it, rename it, and the key is there. And you start with a key, you try to crack it, and you realize, whoa, I don't have a gas. So you're not going anywhere with there. So this is why sometimes we feel that the one night stand was like more promising than it was, and it wasn't. It actually haven't ever been there. Maybe at the time and place it seemed kind of important, and it hasn't been important in a global kind of like scheme of things. And we as women, especially women, and even some more romantic men, and I would tend to think that these are the men who are actually coming to these tarot sessions with me. They're like lesser percentage, but there's still 25% of men over here. And I think these are quality men, and I wish that they actually speak up a little bit more, because people who connect with tarot really want to find out the real answers, and they really want to be in touch, or not only with the others but with themselves. So this is the category number 1. Category number 2, I picked this angel. I think it's Michael, who is trying to, I think, in biblical terms, merge wine and water. Well, that's not a really big deal. But here in tarot, it's basically talking about trying to merge 2 different things. So, of course, in a relationship, there are 2 different people. And even if you get along, you still have your own intricacies that might not really fit properly, right? So what's basically happening here is, okay, let's put this together. Let's create this passion. Let's create this growth. Let's create this like solid emotions that we can kind of like step in. However, I'm asking for this card to be reversed. Why? In this category, I want to find out what doesn't work, what kind of like has to be fixed in order for things to kind of really work out. You see, in this after tarot, this angel is kind of manifesting. You see, one is connecting with emotions, another one is connecting with the sky. So literally you're getting, I mean, I love you as the sky is high, and I love you as the sea is deep. Kind of like everything, kind of universal. And it's like still this like beaming with reaction. So what basically we're going to find out here is like, if things that you have to build are sort of unbridgeable, if they can be built. So then I'm taking Queen of Wands, forget the horoscope associations. Of course, when I do Golden Dawn readings, I have to take everything in account. But even at that point, I'm just trying to see more or less personalities. But here I'm looking at how we really want to be seen in a relationship. So that's a significator for one party, generally for ladies. And if there are two ladies, then I put 2 Queen of Wands. If there are 2 guys, I put 2 King of Wands. So don't get all upset that this kind of represents fire signs, because when we start dating, we are all fire. We all start with fire, right? And it's kind of like fun, it's passionate, we are outgoing, we are playful, we are going out. Even if you're homebody, you will go out. Even if you're recluse, you will go out. Even if, you know, you generally are not very sexual, you'll still have sex. So this is talking about being a little bit different. This is our dating selves, right? So you see here, she has this like beautiful flower, right? And the kitty cat that is right now connecting to her. See, it's kind of like, okay, where do I move from here? Am I kind of staying in my element or not? So here is my communication card. I'm trying to figure out, so in this category here, pardon me, with Queen of Wands, I really want to see what your partner, how did your partner perceive you? So, right, like, I mean, you know that people are generally not really straightforward, and you can go as far as that they are not being honest. So they don't really tell you. They kind of tell you sort of medicated version or kind of sedated version of what they think. And kind of like they don't express generally things that they don't like. So you really don't know what the real opinion is. You just know what you heard. So this is basically telling us what your partner saw in you, or how he saw you reacted. So kind of like get this perception they had from their side. Here with 8 of Wands, this is my communication card. With this card, I actually really want to see the intricacies of energies. So this can mean how did you communicate. This can mean how basically, how well do you mesh, right? So in this kind of like position here is showing, okay, are you firing back? Because these wands are falling back, the communication is coming your way. Are you communicating right back? And is this effective communication? So now this is a second significator, right? And this is also same thing. I picked a fire sign, basically significator, because the other person also wants to be seen as cool. This guy wants to be seen, oh my gosh, I'm so charismatic. She kind of like likes me, and you know, I am her king. And kind of like they want to feel this way. You see, kind of like he here has the little salamander, kind of just making his little first step, and here he's holding the salamander basically in his palm. Salamanders basically signify fire. Interestingly enough, even though they kind of reside in the rain, long time ago, in like 13th, 14th centuries, when they were creating these cards, they just saw salamanders jumping out from the fireplaces because they were kind of like be around there, and they thought they were fire animals, and that's how they were actually connected in tarot to fire. So, and then I took Judgment. And Judgment is literally for me to feel out how karmically you basically are reacting. Because I also do karma readings. And in karma readings, I can totally see if people are repeating certain patterns, if they're bringing them from the past lives, and that's my past life reading. And it's kind of like it's easier to understand what's happening. But in this reading, I cannot go in 20, 30, 40 minutes of that. So I'm just trying to get at least an overview. So Judgment card is talking about a situation that has been evolving. And maybe it's even dead, but it's come back to be alive just for rendering this opinion. So this is more or less a cosmic judgment, a karma card, right? So here are the two phases of that, right? Here it is like, we are here. What? Have it been good or not good? Is it make it or break it time? And here it is, okay, some of you are just going to be dead, right? So your relationship shouldn't go forward, or it should go forward. And this is what karma is saying, right? So I know that we all want relationships, but sometimes it's also good to get closure. And lastly, I'm picking this card, Four of Wands, because this is that celebration card, moving to the next stage. Four corners being solidified. So now, some people say this is a marriage. It just means the next step. It could be reunion, it could be reconciliation, it could be just quality of your relationship. It's not lived happily ever after. Yeah, some of us have been brainwashed with that. You know, it should be called what it is, crap. And please, mothers, don't read these like bad stories to your kids, because if you look how those stories were in their original form, they were not kind or nice at all. So this is just basically saying, are you going to go to the next stage with this person? Because marriage, after all, is just the next stage. There are many marriages that are not working out because you're just starting to build from the scratch. So when I say sometimes in my readings, well, this one phase has to end, another one has to start. So this could mean you're going from dating to steady, from steady to engagement, from engagement, so and so forth, so on. So you see this kind of like movement in this phase is exactly that. You're going from the celebration, I say, okay, we are giving this a try. So in this category, I'm exploring how well you guys are going to do. So when I do all of these categories, then I sort of like look at the intricacies and how this works. So if category, which is supposed to be the glue, is just not forming the glue, no matter how much you want, you're going to fall apart. You can still stick together, hold on to each other like for dear life. It's not going to work out. And it's good to know. So guys, hopefully this is kind of more understanding the categories. Check it on my website as well if you want to see this video again. I'm going to post just a short clip there, but also explanation of each card is over there. And if you want to order this X spread, then you're getting energies that are just between the two of you, not these generic energies that I am actually explaining on my site. The difference is like here there are many people, and so basically some people are cross watchers and they bring their energy. So sure, it can give you some general opinion and you might see it here. Most of the time people do, but to get really the energy between 2 or 3 people, please contact me for a private reading. The prices are on my site, so visit me there at www.cattarot.ca. Thanks, love you. Hi Scorpio, let's see what is in store for you. If you want your private reading with your personal energies, contact me. The spread is currently offered for $45. My contact information is in the description down below this video. Hi Scorpio, you're the first sign because you looked at the previous month more than anybody else. What I'm actually doing in addition to this lengthy explanation, but just so we are all on the same page, because I had questions, oh, the cards are the same for all the signs, not understanding these are significators. So as you see, they are the same cards, well, almost. I'm putting a 9 of Wands here. I just couldn't find, honestly, the real honest answer is I couldn't find the card in my deck. Somebody took it, but I'll put this above. Actually, I think that Knight of Wands is even more appropriate because you do want to be chased, and vice versa. This could be male or female, right? So it's just like one knight in a spread. So now we have all these cards as well in a deck. And it's going to be really interesting to see where in which category they show up. Okay, Scorpio, so let's see for the month of May what's happening with your on and off relationships with your ex. How is this going to work? Because you have suffered, some of you are really holding on. I mean, my readings are mostly with Scorpios. And like the card that popped up is like somebody's being left out in the cold. Okay, Scorpios, is the ex coming back? Tell me the information about the Scorpio for May 2017. Scorpio, May 2017. Scorpio, May 2017. Give me this information. Scorpio, May 2017. Any messages before I start the reading? Yeah, again, look what came out. Something about the union. So you are really interesting to see how this is going to develop. Scorpio, May 2017. Any other messages? Scorpio, X spread for May 2017. All right. Ooh, one more. Justice. Huh. Ooh, that can mean many things. It can mean that you're going to get the deal you're requesting. It can also mean divorce. Okay, let me shuffle it one more time. Scorpio, May 2017. Scorpio, May 2017. Okay, so explanations are there. Let's go right into your toolbox. The Magician, what is in this category? Wish not fulfilled, or somebody is really self-oriented here. You'll find that I get faster later because I see more. So this is the week one. Let's see what's happening in week one. Temperance reversed. The Emperor. There was no stability. There was no solidity. This relationship was out of control, or it became out of control. Ladies, gentlemen, your significator, how you're being seen. Suspended. It's sort of like you're waiting. Almost could be that, guys, you maybe put yourself on a cross and declared yourself a victim. That could be one part. Second part would be that you're just trying by doing nothing to influence the decision. And of course it could be that you're trying to see things from their standpoint. But it's a major arcana. We have two major arcanas in a row. Let's see 8 of Wands. That's the communication, and it's communication about a third party. Somebody was messing up with your union. Knight of Wands or King of Wands. Somebody who should be chasing after you. What is this person thinking? What kind of frame of mind? Yeah, they're actually thinking about you, but it's not a good thing. You see, this kind of like would be good memories. It's somebody, obviously, it's talking about a past relationship and talking about the things you have, and sort of like they are currently thinking about bad things. You know, when the breakup is still very fresh, you don't think, you don't have time to settle. And that's kind of like what looks to me here, that you guys are waiting for this to settle so they can start thinking, memorizing good things that you had, because initially how brain works, you just like think about the bad things, you want to push it away. It's only later you start to kind of think about it. But why, if there was a third person? Okay, Judgment. It says like the relationship has no strength, and when I see this card reversed, to me also that means lack of commitment. Somebody is no longer there. It's the lion is going to bite and run away. Let's see the quality of relationship. Yeah, you see, if you were married, then this marriage is getting either stale or it's on the way out, and there are issues with this marriage. Strength. There's no strength in the marriage if you really want. There was interference, and that interference actually could have happened in this case by somebody who your partner knew from before. This is what also this card could mean. And maybe even you knew this person. But in any case, that is something that he is connecting right now. He's really thinking about the past, but like his or her thoughts are not the most positive thoughts. So guys, this is both gender neutral, okay? You are here, they are there. It actually could be even vice versa, so you have to figure out because of the energies, right? So now we have the Sun, Strength, and the Emperor. We have Sun is like 1, but it's kind of would be new beginning, but it's reversed, so it's not a new beginning. Now you have a 9, something has to finish, and that should kind of like be helping you fulfillment. So let's see week 2. Week 2, some kind of secrets in your toolbox. Kind of secrets, more things are coming out to the surface. repair. Again, it's a non-starter, you see, like this is kind of like, okay, let's build it, let's go through this gate. And this is kind of like an ace that talks about building, talks about building on a solid ground. Like when people go from this romance stage to, you know, long-term relationship where all these honeymoon feelings are kind of gone, then you have to figure out, well, am I addicted to the honeymoon feelings, which so many people are because the television and everything tells you about it. This is the phase where you're actually building something. It's more regular energy. The butterflies are not flying, but here you understand the two of you can make something. Well, in this case, no, that's not going. And now showing the Emperor reversed in this one, somebody did really check out. So how are you seen in the second week? See, you're becoming very impatient, and this could be also a matter of finances, and you might be even willing to talk about, oh well, this is what I did for you, look at how much effort I have put it in, and now this is not being returned to me, and sort of like go along that kind of conversation. Communication. Yeah, you know, somebody just is checked out. Like, this is not being introspective anymore, trying to find out, okay, let me go deep inside of me, sit in my room, really think through it. This is like not chatting out with a therapist. This is not chatting out with somebody who can help you. This is literally chatting out with yourself, figuring out in the darkness, being stripped out from any accolades or anything. How is this serving me? But here it is like, I'm so tired of this. Either person did all of that, or they don't want to do it, and that's in the communication is becoming really, really visible, and they're like facing away from you. As far as this other person, the other person might have already somebody else that they are thinking about, or they are getting involved, and that's maybe the reason why in their head they're kind of already putting you in the past and separating, and that's maybe the third person over here. It's somebody who's currently providing him lots of love, with lots of romance. It's like literally pouring on. It's like that honeymoon stage that this person is in. Karmically, yeah, I see it's kind of cold, karmic, like both of you are really tired of everything. Reunion, again we have a third party. Somebody kind of like feels so smug. Look at his face. Oh, I won. And look, these two people are walking away defeated. In a relationship you cannot feel defeated like that. It obviously, now you go from 4 to 5 here. There was something that I would not say it's good. I would not say it should be good, right? So yeah, this is going to say, geez, guys, do you really want to go in this relationship where there's a third person? Really, karmically, that's a horrible decision. You are basically working against your karma by doing that. You'll have to repeat this over and over and over until you say no, until you do something different to get different results. When you do that, when you take them back, you are basically declaring, you can do that to me. Trust me, I studied that. This is the best part of being a therapist. You can make money out of people trying to talk them into going back together, and every therapist knows that's completely foolish. How can you trust somebody who took the feeling of you devoting to this person, of loving this person, of caring for this person, into something else? And for those of you who are telling me that I don't like Scorpios, I have no issues with Scorpios, quite the opposite. Yeah, there's one person who I don't like as a Scorpio, my mom, for different reasons, but I have 5 Scorpio friends, really, really good friends, and I love them to death. I love that sign. That sign is like so intense, but it has one really bad note, and this is they sometimes want to win, and this could be you, Scorpio, not really realizing that win is futile, just like here is Pyrrhic victory, right? So let's see the next week. Okay, so you have a passion over here. Somebody is waking up from this kind of like, okay, I cannot deal with this. What needs to be fixed? Relationship. There is no relationship. You see, look at this. He's basically stretching his arm and touching her. This shows healing, right? And sort of like having this passion. But it's, in your case, is in a category of a glue that is missing. So it's gone. Like the cups are here, and here are like bad memories, and here is like this is not working. So let's see how you're being seen. You're seen overly emotional. King of Cups is great upright. It shows a partner that is like the partner we want in a relationship. This emotional. This is why we are choosing to go on that trip with this person. Loving. We can just put a hand on their shoulder and hold a hand on a little kind of bench. But this way, it's somebody who's manipulating your emotions. So they see you that way, that you are able to be a manipulator, or you're seeing them. And also this can talk about some addictions, alcohol mostly, sex addictions. And now like we have these two cups together, and it's kind of like seeing kind of, yeah, the relationship kind of worked. Even at the very kind of like last phases, it worked just on a passion level, but it didn't work on a heart level. So let's see over here, the communication. You see, the death. This is you, Scorpio. And again, in my readings, I keep saying to you, please make a decision. And I'm not saying this to be nasty. This is your card. Okay, let me explain this card to you, Scorpio, once for all. It is like a beautiful, beautiful card. Look at this. In this card, you can see two things. Look at this child is scared. You guys like to be scary at times, right? But look at this. Look at this one here. It doesn't have any training. Nothing has been poured into the child's head to kind of like spoil it with sort of like prejudice. This child is really looking up to it. And this person is really looking up to it and offering kind of things. So, and it is a flower, which means something will bloom, and it's something that we know. So when that happens, you already know it is arriving, right? And yet this is talking about not the end, but this card actually saying it's the end. Something has to end for something else to be born. And I will tell you, in my private readings, what I see with Scorpios very frequently is that they do have a new love on horizon, and you are on the crossroads. The Scorpios who are going to decide to hold on are going to lose out on the opportunity to grab something else. But it's up to you. If you prefer to kind of like clamp up, and I get it, that is really hard. That is really hard to move on. And see here, actually also have a King of Cups and Queen of Cups, which also can indicate you guys and your partner and not being on the same page and not being a couple anymore. And that's why you got the death in between. So that means two things. Either literally it's going to be over and moving in a different direction on a different level. Maybe you have children with them. Now you're going to be maybe becoming friends. But even be cautious with that. Friendships are very dangerous post relationship if you have kids, because they have new partners and they can create lots of intricacies. So the best is to be really loving toward the kids if the kids are basically still in between. If not, this could mean, or if it is, this could mean completely redefining relationship and kind of fixing these things. You need to know how to build it. You have to kind of understand the words are no longer enough. Now it needed transparency, and this is what death is. Like everything collapses, right? Everything. Let me actually just see the death in this deck. After deck is kind of interesting. I have another deck. Look. Here is actually saying the sun is going to shine. Can you see that here? It shows the devastation on the bottom here, right? This child that was like so enthusiastic is dead right now. But this horse is celebrating because something else is being born. A new day is being born. So even though it kind of looks ominous, this card, it's actually really good. It's kind of, it's similar to Tower, only like Tower is like shaking you down, like you get like flat tires on a highway when you're speeding. This, you understand this card. It's card of transformation. It's that card of mystery. It's the card of that is looming over your life the moment you were born, because you are Scorpio. You have this ability to transform, like your energy is like that, going deep in people's souls. And when this card shows up, you already know this is happening. And this King of Cups, this is probably your Scorpio as well, because these are all these kind of water energies, kind of like this kind of would indicate murky waters. This could indicate clear waters. So let's see the partner. Okay, the partner made a decision. The partner did go for it, and I'm building my world, and it looks like it's with somebody else or somewhere else. Judgment. Judgment is saying, look guys, there was a third person, and you know what you do have is a balance. You have this give and take, and it's really important. So it's probably for those of you who have children, this is going to end well. It's going to create understanding between the partners, and it's going to, if anything else, if you're going through a breakup and you have to divide the funds, because this is all about the funds, it's going to be fair division. As far as reunions, somebody is still hoping for somebody to come and say, I'm sorry. See, after all this smugs, and I guess it makes sense, the marriage is falling apart and somebody's walking away, and this knight in the shining armor is obviously not happening. So that's why here, you're just hoping at least to be recognized on the level and say, listen, just tell me the truth. Tell me that you're sorry. People are just not even honest like that these days. I don't know if they ever were. And let's see the last week of the month. Well, here is like that intuitive card that you guys have. It is in your toolbox, and you have the moon card. So these two cards, if you don't get a closure, and this could mean a closure as well. This could actually mean a new person moving on, because I do see that in my Scorpio readings. And something that's going to be with more balance. And I know it's really hard to move on if you're still kind of tangled up. I get that. And I'm not saying just jump from one frying pan to another. What I'm saying is, like, you guys, if you're holding on to one thing, you cannot open your heart, and that energy is hurting you more than anything than holding on. So let's see what needs to be fixed. Yeah, this is not going anywhere. The offers are not extended. You are being seen as, okay, somebody's seeing you as they're like lessening the burden on you, because I guess this effort for you to kind of like fight for it and to hold on to it is being seen as a pressure, nothing else than a pressure. So if you want to win somebody back, you don't want to put pressure on them. In fact, quite the opposite. So I'm going to resume, summarize for you what needs to be really worked on. Yeah, it's giving up again. Communication is giving up. Him, yeah, he doesn't work for him. It's like this three kind of like party over here, and the partner is checking out. Judgment also, here is like still somebody fighting, and here is somebody giving up. So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4 with hurt, giving up. And you might actually cause this hurt to a partner with this death, or maybe with some kind of actions, or they might cause you, but they would feel this way. They would really feel torn. Or this can also mean that your partner may get rejected by somebody as well. They had somebody kind of like in the bushes, right, and trying to plan this with this person, and hop, off you go. Karma comes to bite ya. Yeah, and look, the Judgment, and you got the Judgment reversed. So I said, no, this is not meant to be, guys. Let it go. So Scorpio, please let it go. This is what you're getting. This is what you're getting if you let go. So this reading is available for me. I'm still going to leave it on a special for $45. So please order it for me for a time being. It's a really good price. Regular is $60. You can check my information on the bottom in the description. My website is www.cattarot.ca. Scorpios, be well. I love you. Take care.